I am getting ready to paint my hamster furniture and I am very excited. But before I do that, when I say paint, I mean seal it, just to be clear. But before I do that, I remember when I was looking into this for something that I sealed in wood for flaming. And I remember considering at the time whether it was better to use this brush on sealer or whether it was better to use a spray, because the brush on is great, but sometimes it leaves like brush marks and it can be kind of an uneven coating. So I thought maybe a spray would give me a better coating, because this Plastikote, which is what is usually recommended to seal hamster furniture with, they do make a spray version of this as well that is clear and everything. So I looked it up at the time and I remember reading quite a few things saying like, you know, if you spray it, it's fine as long as you give it a few days, you know, give it a few days for any sort of like chemicals to wear off and then you can give it to your hamster. And at the time, the only reason I didn't follow that advice was because I wanted it faster than a few days. Like, flaming needed a new multi-chamber and this stuff dries kind of in a couple of hours and you can just give it to them after a couple of hours. So I didn't do it. And this time around, I kind of know a little bit more. So I looked as to whether that advice is still out there online, and it is. So I just thought I would do this video about the safety of Plastikote. So basically, if you use this version of Plastikote, it is safe for hamsters. As long as you wait for it to dry and then give it to your hamster, it is fine. It's water-based, it's non-toxic. So if you have wooden items and you seal it with this stuff, then it means that if your hamster pees on it, or if your hamster, you know, or if it gets wet from food or whatever, then it'll just wipe clean for the most part. It doesn't protect against chewing, nothing does. But it does mean that you can make your sort of wood hamster furniture last longer. It is recommended. However, the spray version contains VOCs, and that stands for volatile organic compounds. The problem with VOCs is that they are chemical based, and a lot of people think that once the sort of smell dissipates, then the VOC is gone. You'll find VOCs in lots of stuff, like usually in paints, markers, anything that has like a chemically kind of smell to it. The problem is those VOCs don't go away. Like something that has been treated with something that has volatile organic compounds in it can give off VOCs for months and even years after the application. For us, it's not significant. You paint your wall, it's smelly for a day or two, and then it's kind of over. The VOCs are still being given off, you're just not really like picking them up, and because, you know, we're big humans, it doesn't really affect us that much. But for a hamster, if you give them something that has had a volatile organic compound on it, like something that has been sprayed with a Plastikote spray, then you're going to be putting them in a situation where they're going to be exposed to volatile organic compounds for a long time. They can cause issues with the respiratory system, they can cause issues with the endocrine system, which affects how their hormones work. So it can actually have quite a bad effect on hamsters if you use anything that has VOCs in it. The other thing is that hamsters obviously spend a lot of time in contact with that furniture. They're low to the ground and they're going to be close to that furniture all the time. So something that for us wouldn't be significant is going to be significant for a hamster. They're going to be in close contact with it, it's going to be in their cage, and they might not have actually as good ventilation as we do in our homes. So it's just important to note and to make sure that if you're going to seal hamster furniture, this is the best way to do it. Might not look the best, it might not be the absolute best finish, but it is the best for your hamster because this doesn't have any VOCs in it. So yeah, if you're sealing hamster furniture, I hope that helps.